Warning. Just because I know the backstory to these games does not mean that I am good at playing them. In the background, while I am talking about this game, I will have footage that I have recorded. But that does not mean that I am good at this game, and you are probably going to see some horrible failures in the background. You have been warned. There is a mystical place known as South Island that is a treasure trove of gems and ancient ruins. They say that the island is where the mystical Chaos Emeralds lie. The Chaos Emeralds, extraordinary relics that give incredible amounts of energy to all living beings. However, when applied to scientific purposes, they can be used for powerful nuclear and laser-based weaponry. Nevertheless, no one knows exactly how to get a hold of these emeralds. At the same time, it is said the reason why South Island is always moving is because of these emeralds. Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik, yes, he's always been called that, tired of Sonic the Hedgehog interfering with his plans, has come to the island with his forces to launch his first known major scheme to conquer the world, and assembled a base of operations. Sonic hurried to the island once he heard the news, but found that something was amiss. Dr. Robotnik has kidnapped all the animals, and is using them to fuel his badnik robots. Essentially, the entire island has become Sonic's enemy. Sonic immediately ran off to help everyone and stop Robotnik's craziest and most ambitious plan yet. Sonic races through the zones and marks them as his territory, stopping Robotnik and freezing the animals from their egg-like capsule prisons. While traveling through South Island and all of its zones, Sonic finds strange portals that takes him to special stages. These stages supply Sonic with Chaos Emeralds if he reaches the end of them, although he only obtains 6 of the 7 Chaos Emeralds. But with all 6 emeralds, he defeats Dr. Robotnik and undoes all the harm Robotnik has done to South Island. But Robotnik's plans do not end after that loss. After the events of South Island, Sonic was looking for new adventures and discovered West Side Island and recalled its legend. A long time ago, the people of West Side Island used a mysterious stone to advance their civilization and achieve prosperity. However, when those people tried to use the stone for the wrong reasons, their prosperity vanished overnight. The gods were said to have sealed away the stone within the island's depths. Sonic landed his plane, the Tornado, on the island to check out and relax, not paying attention to the fact that Robotnik was following him and suspiciously landed on the other side of the island. A few days later, Sonic noticed a shy orange fox following him. Sonic noticed that the peculiar fox managed to barely keep up with him, but decided he was harmless and became friends. The fox's name was Miles Per Hour, though he was known as Tails due to his 2 special tails. It turned out that Tails had heard of Sonic since he was a cub, and wanted to become cool like him. During this time, Tails gained the respect of the island's animals by being able to imitate Sonic's famous moves. He learned he could closely replicate Sonic's trademark speed by twirling his tails like a propeller along the ground, and could roll into a spin attack, and even perform a spin dash. One early afternoon, Tails discovered Sonic's plane at the beach. Being a fan of machinery, Tails admired it while Sonic was taking a nap under its wing. Suddenly, explosions shook the island, and Tails took cover underneath it as he saw robots violently excavating the island. It turned out that Dr. Robotnik detected the presence of all the Chaos Emeralds after following Sonic, including the lost 7th one spoken of in the island's legend. He took the opportunity to kidnap the island's animals to rebuild his badnik forces and finish his ultimate weapon, the Death Egg. Robotnik now ruled the factories, refineries, and cities. He's grabbed control of everything except the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Sonic went off into the forest to set things right, and Tails followed. They traveled through many zones and collected the 7 Chaos Emeralds for themselves. Eventually went into the Death Egg and stopped Dr. Robotnik and his plans by becoming the awesome Super Sonic with the power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds, causing the Death Egg to plummet into the ground, which leads us into our next story. After the events that happened on West Side Island, the evil Dr. Robotnik had his Death Egg down from orbit, and it landed atop a floating island that fell down into the ocean below. This island had very special properties. Not only could it float magically in the sky, it also had a massive Chaos Emerald that Dr. Robotnik detected. He decided to once again seek out the emerald so that his fallen Death Egg can regain its orbit in space. Turning his crushing defeat into a surprising advantage yet again, he kidnaps all the animals once again and turns them into badniks and created new lines of weaponry such as an environment-changing device. On an island some distance away, Tails detects a strong Chaos Emerald breeding within his invention on the Jewel radar. Thinking that it had something to do with the sudden tidal wave that occurred after the Death Egg's defeat, he decides to consult with Sonic to investigate. Meanwhile, Sonic woke up from his nap on the beach to find a ring engraved with ancient letters washed ashore, which reminded him of another legend. An ancient civilization once tried to take a prosperous stone for its power, but were wiped out in an instant. It is said that the gods reshaped their territory as an island isolated in the sky, along with the mighty Stone of Power. With a renewed sense of adventure, Sonic joined Tails to take the tornado to the ocean. They found the landmass previously known as the Floating Isle resting on the ocean. Excited, Sonic hops off the tornado prematurely and uses the power of the Chaos Emeralds and transforms into Super Sonic once again, showing off as he glides across the surface of the water. Unfortunately, he is caught off guard with the spiked gloves of an echidna named Knuckles. Knuckles is the guardian of the island, who was tricked by Dr. Robotnik into thinking that Sonic and Tails are thieves, so he quickly took Sonic's emeralds and hid them. Tails soon joined Sonic and they set off to explore and stop the nefarious Dr. Robotnik while invading Knuckles' cunning traps. In the end, Dr. Robotnik gets the Death Egg briefly flying again, but is defeated by Sonic and Tails, causing the Death Egg to fall once again, this time into the volcanic crater known as Lava Reef Zone. The Doctor resumes his goal of restoring the Death Egg, this time by stealing the Mastered Emerald to limitlessly fuel his engines. This all-powerful jewel, upon which the other Chaos Emeralds base their powers, is supposed to be guarded by Knuckles. But, of course, Dr. Robotnik was able to fool the Echidna into working for him, and against Sonic. Upon landing in Mushroom Hill Zone, Sonic discovered a giant ring that took him to the Master Emerald. Realizing that this is the object of legend that Dr. Robotnik must have set his eyes on, he rushes to prevent Robotnik from taking it. In the underground hidden palace, Robotnik takes advantage of the confusion between Sonic and Knuckles in order to obtain the Master Emerald. Knuckles then realizes that Dr. Robotnik had been tricking him all along, and is injured while trying to stop Robotnik from stealing the emerald. Knuckles helps Sonic to get to the Sky Sanctuary, then leaves them to defeat Robotnik and trusts him to return the Master Emerald. Sonic takes on the Death Egg again and defeats Robotnik and his escape mech and brings the Master Emerald, making the Floating Isle regain its namesake. However, a lone egg robot takes up the Doctor's mantle, and after this event, Knuckles is seen relaxing with a group of animals in Mushroom Hill, and suddenly an egg robo throws a bomb at him. Knuckles becomes quite angry at this, and Knuckles chases after him, and Knuckles chases through all the zones Sonic went through, and goes places that Sonic couldn't access before, but eventually comes back to Sky Sanctuary to face off against Egg Robo, But Egg Robo is destroyed by Mecha Sonic. And Mecha Sonic fights Knuckles and uses the power of the Master Emerald to become Super Mecha Sonic. After Knuckles defeats Super Mecha Sonic, he returns the Master Emerald to its real true place, and then the floating isle actually goes farther up into the sky and stabilizes. And that is the end of the classic Sonic series of Sonic 1 through Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And that is their tale that they tell. Now, if the people that watch me for my League of Legends lore actually get this far, this is not the super secret project I was talking about that was supposed to be last week. Low Replay broke, and I couldn't record the footage I need for it, and I haven't got it working properly ever since. I think it's probably something with how Low Replay works specifically with my computer, but doesn't matter. As soon as I can get that fixed, I will get that up as soon as possible. This is just a side project that I'm working on. It's kind of been a super secret project. Like I said in my video that I have for non-subscribers, my intro video or whatever, I'm going to be doing more lore, not just for League of Legends, and this is the start of it. Of course, this is Sonic 1 through Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'll be doing, of course, other lore on other games. I'm not exactly sure what. I'm not exactly sure the schedule that this is going to be. I'm still going to be doing League of Legends lore. After I finish doing the Rival series, there will be more lore coming up. It's just, this is to work on alongside that. So yeah, I'll see you next week with whatever comes out, depending on whether I get Low Replay fixed or what have you, and I'll see you then.